r/shoplifting. Starting off on a more humorous note, this was a subreddit fully dedicated to talking about committing crimes, specifically shoplifting, hence the name. On it, users would ask questions on how to do so, leave tips, and share personal experiences of stealing items from stores. People would even share photos of the things they had stolen before. Most bizarre of all is the mentality most people had on here. The page as a whole discouraged people from stealing items at smaller stores, and to only do so at larger businesses. This is so smaller businesses won't suffer great losses from having inventory taken from them. Cause you know, even a thief has a moral compass. Whatever lets these morons sleep at night. The subreddit was actually pretty popular, gaining almost 80,000 subscribers until spring 2018. On March 21st of that year, Reddit finally put the hammer down and banned r/shoplifting. This is due to breaking an amendment to the Reddit user agreement, where users cannot solicitate or facilitate certain goods and services such as firearms, personal information, and most important to this case, stolen goods. r/Sony GOP. This was a subreddit used to distribute various files found during the 2014 Sony hack. Now, if you're not aware, this was when a group known as the Guardians of Peace stole massive amounts of data from Sony Pictures Entertainment. This is due to an upcoming film the studio was releasing, the Seth Rogen and James Franco movie, The Interview. In it, the two go to North Korea to interview Kim Jong-un, which is actually a ploy to murder him. It's a really weird movie that had an even weirder release due to this Guardians of Peace group. You see, they appear to be working with the North Korean government, who were unhappy with the premise of the film. So much in fact that they planned to blow up movie theaters that showed it. Allegedly, I presume. Sony would have cancelled the film entirely if not for President Barack Obama himself and the United States government. Obama thought capitulating to terrorist demands would set a bad precedent, so the film was released in various theaters and online instead. So by November 24, 2014, the Guardians of Peace hacked Sony. They released various documents, emails, and even unreleased movies. This caused various scandals due to some distressing material, which Reddit was quick to repost. This only lasted for a few weeks though, as Reddit banned the page on December 15th, 2014. r/Find Boston Bombers. This page started with a pretty noble goal, but turned sour pretty damn quickly. It was meant to locate suspects from the 2013 Boston Massacre incident, where two homemade pressure cooker bombs were planted near the finish line. Both detonated less than 15 seconds of each other, killing 3 and severely injuring hundreds of others. Many wanted the perpetrators to be found, so a subreddit called r/Find Boston Bombers was made by a since unnamed individual. They wanted users to mine through the massive amount of surface photos, most from the FBI themselves. These would be published by users in a massive Google Doc titled Boston Bomber Info Spreadsheet, which explicitly stated to not post people's personal information. Can you guess what people did on this page? Yep, posted people's personal information. So many people were wrongly identified as suspects here, including a 17-year-old track athlete and a 22-year-old university student who had gone missing the month prior. Many went on to harass the man's family, assuming he was the one who committed the devastating attack. But of course this was not the case, and his body would be found not too long after, cause of death being suicide. This gave the page as a whole a bad reputation. The general manager of Reddit, Eric Martin, apologized for all of this, saying how awful it was for the page to get out of hand so quickly. The actual suspects were later identified and arrested on April 19, 2013. r/Guns for Sale. Piggybacking off the first entry, this was a place to sell guns and various other weapons. Despite being reported on all the way back in early 2014, the sub was not taken down until March 21, 2018, along with a few other similar pages dedicated to buying and selling weapons. The article that first exposed r/Guns for Sale, Mother Jones, described how the page provided a loophole for various US laws and sold guns with the Reddit logo engraved onto it, as some sort of licensing deal. Not for Reddit as a whole, mind you, just for the subreddit alone. There are a few other pages deleted during this 2018 purge, including r/Darknet Markets and r/Sanctioned Suicide. r/Incels and r/True Femcels. These two represent a double-edged sword of cringe. The first to briefly go over is r/Incels, which was a forum of posts where these losers discuss how horrible women are to them. If you're one of the two people who don't know what incels are, they're a group of men who have a hard time attracting girls, can't get laid, and think the gender as a whole is at fault, and not their own. Pretty much a bunch of narcissists who hate all females. This whole subreddit was toxic and filled with misogynistic viewpoints, along with those who advocated for rape. Just pure garbage. These losers were in so deep that they would ban anyone who was too female-friendly or thought women could be thought of as incels. Speaking of which, r/TrueFemCels was a place for women incels, pretty much just women who can't get a date and blame it on men. Both groups are extremely fucked up and hated on anyone who slightly didn't fit their viewpoint. They commonly threatened people and spread harmful conspiracies. In October 2017, Reddit introduced a new policy that prohibits incitements of violence, which both of these pages exhibited. Only a few weeks after introducing these policies, r/incels was quarantined and then banned. A new page called r/braincells was made and banned in 2019. Surprisingly, r/TrueFemCels would stay up for quite a while until it's banned in January 2021. r/beating women. I mean, it just explains itself, a place where men can discuss violence against women. But despite how horrible that sounds, the content wasn't the main reason the subreddit was shut down. Instead, it was due to the moderators who band together to share the personal information of users. They teamed up to ensure Reddit couldn't ban them, which of course didn't work in the long run. The page was banned on June 9th, 2014, leading to the community's founder to make another. It was literally the same name as the first, but with the 2 at the end. How special. This would quickly be banned as well. r/choti. Now I don't speak Hindi, so I don't know what choti means exactly, but it seems to be a slang term for a dick, commonly used in India. Some bitch lasagna type shit if you ask me. This was a subreddit maintained by far right-wing Indian men who claimed this would be a place for free speech and memes. But really it was just a place to spread hate, not just on women but those believing in other religions as well. Mainly Islam, as members of this page wished for them to face genocide. It was just overall really dark and messed up, leading to most to question how it could stay up for so long. Well, that was because users would intentionally misspell certain words to avoid detection from Reddit software, which worked for years, but this place finally crashed down earlier this year. Right as it was nearing 100,000 followers, it was banned on March 23rd, 2022. r/watch people die. This is essentially the live leak of Reddit, where it was common to find grisly and horrific videos to watch. Just flat out gruesome deaths caught on camera would be linked on here, which did not face controversy for quite a few years. It was even quarantined, meaning it was harder to locate on Reddit. Then March 19th, 2019 came. On that day was the Christchurch mosque shooting, committed by a lone gunman at a New Zealand mosque. 51 people died and 40 were injured. r/watch people die was linking to footage of this distressing event, which really pissed people off. Despite loads of other similar events being spread there, Reddit banned this forum less than a day after the shooting. So was r/gore and the sister page r/WPD Talk, which probably did the same. r/jailbait. This one had a long reign on the site, even being voted as the subreddit of the year in a 2008 poll. It featured the lewdest possible images of underage girls, just to the point where it wouldn't be counted as child porn. This divided people as most agreed it was obscene, yet acknowledged that no laws were being broken. Even Eric Martin agreed with that, as removing the page would be against Reddit's freedom of speech agenda. This gained so much attention that eventually Anderson Cooper of all people would make a CNN segment on r/jailbait. He condemned the existence of it and questioned Reddit's morals as a whole. And instead of the users on the page getting into less trouble, they doubled it. The final straw was when one of the fellow troglodytes posted the usual underage photo and mentioned how he had more images elsewhere, nude images which could be seen in private messages. With this incident being as fucked up as it is, Reddit finally banned this garbage forum once and for all on October 11th, 2011. Nowadays it seems like TikTok is a place these degenerates go to for a fix, sad but true. r/the Fappening. The most notorious banned subreddit of all time, which was the home for the 2014 celebrity nudes leak that overtook the media. This all began with hackers obtaining various images from celebrities via iCloud, and at the time faulty storage option for iPhones. This was done with various means, including sending text messages to certain individuals and pretending to be Apple support. Once passwords were obtained, bingo. These men would gather on the dark net to share and trade these, with a sort of market in the works. But one of these men would save a large collection of these photos and took them to 4chan. Here he promised to release them all if tipped enough Bitcoin. When others doubted him, he sent teases and eventually everything else he had. Others from the darknet did the same, leading to the outside world being aware. r/thefappening was created, which was made to sift through all the images. This was the place to go, and it gained 100,000 followers in only a day. Now don't be mistaken, no photos were actually posted, just links to other sites such as Imgur who stored them. Despite that, the page was taken down by September 2014, and the news died down. It was of course condemned by everybody in the media since it screwed up, and a few of these nudes might have been of certain celebrities as minors. Some of those who committed the initial hacking would be found and arrested, yet the man who first posted the photos to 4chan was never caught. I mean, the man got away scot-free for like, what, $100? I do have to applaud the makers of the Fappening, as it has to be the funniest name for something I've ever heard. Bro took the Mark Wahlberg classic, The Happening, and added Faps to it. Genius.